Trauma doesn't always scream. It whispers in the background, shaping how people act, think, and even feel in ways they might not realize. You might notice something's a little off with someone, but can't quite figure out what it is. That's because trauma isn't always loud or obvious. It hides in habits, reactions, and silence. In this video, we're diving into 8 real ways trauma shows up in everyday life. Some of these might surprise you or even hit close to home. Either way, understanding them is the first step toward compassion and maybe even healing. Let's get into it. Number 1, they struggle with connection. People who've experienced trauma often find social situations overwhelming, not because they don't want to connect, but because their nervous system is wired to stay on guard. Dr. Rachel Lynn, a licensed trauma specialist, explains that those raised in volatile environments tend to interpret neutral situations as potentially threatening. Things like small talk, unexpected phone calls, or large gatherings can feel like landmines. They're not being distant or rude. They're trying to protect themselves from something that once hurt them. Number 2, they withdraw without warning. You're mid-conversation, and suddenly they go quiet. Maybe they check out, leave the room, or go completely still. This isn't them being disinterested. It's a survival response. Therapist Jordan Gwine calls it protective retreat. When the brain senses danger, even if it's not real, it shuts things down to keep safe. Something as simple as a raised voice or a sudden change in tone can trigger this. It's like their body hits the brakes while their mind goes into hiding. Number 3, they over-control their environment. For some, trauma leaves them feeling like the world is chaotic and unpredictable. To cope, they try to control whatever they can: schedules, routines, even people. Clinical psychologist Dr. Aaron Brooks says this behavior stems from a lack of safety in the past. If everything felt out of control growing up, planning every detail now gives them a sense of stability. But when things don't go as planned, anxiety can spike. That's why sudden changes, even small ones, can feel like a threat. Number 4, they use coping habits that don't always look harmful. We often associate trauma with extreme coping methods, substance abuse, aggression, or risky behavior. But sometimes it shows up as overworking, doom scrolling, or needing constant noise to avoid silence. Behavioral health expert Carla Monroe notes that even helpful-seeming habits can be a form of avoidance. If sitting quietly with their thoughts feels dangerous, they'll fill every moment with distraction. It's not about laziness or lack of discipline. It's about survival. Number 5, they carry it in their bodies. Trauma doesn't just stay in your mind. According to research from the Mind-Body Wellness Institute, unresolved trauma can lead to chronic tension, headaches, digestive issues, and sleep problems. It's not just stress. Their body is holding on to what their mind hasn't yet released. They may look tired, restless, or always on edge, not because they're weak, but because they're fighting a battle no one sees. Number 6, they say sorry too often. Ever met someone who apologizes even when they've done nothing wrong? For trauma survivors, sorry becomes a reflex. It's not about politeness, it's fear-based. Therapist Alicia Green explains that people who grew up being blamed or punished unpredictably often learn that apologizing is the safest move. They're not just avoiding conflict, they're bracing for rejection. Behind every unnecessary sorry is a deep-rooted fear of being seen as a problem. Number 7, their emotions feel like a roller coaster. Mood swings aren't always a personality trait. They can be a trauma response. When someone's nervous system is always activated, emotions can surge suddenly and without warning. Neuroscientist Dr. Tom Fields points out that trauma can affect the amygdala, the part of the brain that processes emotion. This makes it harder to regulate feelings, especially during stress. One moment they're fine, the next they're overwhelmed, and they might not even know why. Number 8, they avoid reminders at all costs. Sometimes the most powerful trauma responses are the quietest. Avoidance doesn't just mean skipping a place or a person. It can mean steering clear of entire conversations, songs, smells, or holidays. Anything that reminds them of what happened becomes a no-go zone. And while it might seem like they're shutting down life, they're really trying to protect their peace. Trauma creates mental danger zones, and avoiding them becomes second nature. If you saw yourself in any of these or recognize someone you love, know this: you're not broken. These responses are not flaws. They're adaptations. You survived something, and your body and brain did what they had to do. But healing is possible. With the right support, you can rewire the patterns and build a life that isn't shaped by the past. You deserve peace, connection, and joy, not just survival. Thanks for being here. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel to support us.